kind of out at one of the farms here, and we were wanting to do this well house and get around it. And these are all saplings and briars and all kind of stuff. I'll get to this backside here and we'll look there as well. Alright, and there's the side of the well house. We're going to try to get all in there as well. Now, back behind this well house, we actually have a carport that we haven't put up. So it's inside there. That's one of the reasons why we can't get this with the tractor. We need to make sure that we don't get that carport that's laying down in there. It's just been dismantled and it's ready to be put back up. Let's get this last view here. Here's the last section. And there is a well house in there. It doesn't look like it, but there is. And we may even do on the other side of this trailer here. It depends on how hot I get. It's over 90 degrees today, so yeah, not great. Okay, so we seem to be getting there a little bit. Obviously, the closer I get to this building, the harder it is to get high up. And obviously, this is not what this thing intended. You know, it says what, maybe 6 foot is the max that it would do. And this has got to be, I don't know, better part of 14 foot. Anyway, I think what we'll do is we'll start working on this front here. See if we can clear this out. I'm going to go ahead and move these hoses and everything so they don't get crushed. And then we'll go ahead and start here. Okay, so I was having a lot of trouble with the vines. Obviously, what I'm doing is not what that field and brush mower was designed for. So we got to kind of work our way inside to where I can get to where I can actually cut again. The vines really are difficult to get into because they just stop the mower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little Oregon electric, it's a corded electric chainsaw. These things are great if you are near anything that you can get power from. And you know, I have a gas one, but the thing is, you know, stopping and starting, it takes a toll on those when you stop and start them all the time. And I'm just not great at maintaining them. You know, so if I'm going to use it for a long time, cut a whole tree up or whatever, I'll go ahead and use the gas. But if I'm just doing like a bunch of stopping and starting like I will on this well house, I'm going to use this. You know, heck, if you were doing something small like, you know, cutting up things, you know, some logs or something for a log house, that would be great too. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and use this, and this thing is great. Works really good. I've cut down big trees with it. You know, if you're within range of an extension cord, you know, this is definitely something you could look into getting. And it's a lot more powerful than you would think it would be. Anyway, all right, well, let's see if we can go ahead and get this started. seeing the building carport metal up underneath there, and I really need to be a little bit more careful, so I'm going to use the chainsaw. We'll see if we can get it out of there. Okay, so this is basically where this field and brush mower is going to have to stop. I'm going to have to use the chainsaw to get all that on that back side. I may pull it out and then just set it off to the side and then mulch it up. I mean, you can see all the stuff I did over here mulched. I mean, it does a really good job of mulching all that junk up. But obviously, like I said, you know, we were going way above what the machine said it was capable of. And, you know, obviously when it got this big tree here, I don't know if any of y'all remember when I was up in this front, there was this bush that I kept hitting up against. And there's just a bunch of little tree branches, so it's a little bit too much for it. But yeah, I mean, it's coming along pretty well. Use a little chainsaw to kind of get myself in a setup, so that way I can actually mulch the stuff up. And like I said, here's the carport that we had under here. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and cut most of this up and then pull it out, set it over here and mulch it. And may use a weed eater or something to get all those off of the side, or just pull them off by hand. But yeah, I wouldn't have even attempted this without that machine. It's real nice, it cleans it up, and it's something you can't do easy with a tractor because it's not as precise. But anyway, alright, well, let me go ahead and get further along. I'll do the rest of this off of camera, and I may come back. I do have a ditch section I'd like to try to do. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that today or not, but we'll see. So I did the rest of this off of camera. It wasn't made for a good video because we had to get the skid steer with some forks Kept cutting with the chainsaw, mulching with the brush cutter, but I think it turned out pretty good. And we're going to cut down at the bottoms of these vines here that are still on here and let them die off. But otherwise, I think it came out pretty good. It was definitely a big job. Took almost 3 hours. I hope you like it, and thank you for watching.